let's go to the topic that we might have started with in a different campaign, and that is the fact that both candidates gave major economic addresses this week. What did we learn, Michael, about their contrasting visions of the role of the government when it comes to the economy?
I think Donald Trump has adopted, when it comes to policy, a rather traditional Republican approach, with a couple glaring exceptions, the biggest one being around the issue of trade. He basically wants to renegotiate or sink pending trade deals, whereas the Republican Party won't. But he proposed a number of lower tax brackets, dramatic cuts in taxes, but also in line with what Republican candidates tend to do. He talked about reducing regulation. And Hillary Clinton has a plan for every issue, and it's a detailed plan. And she wants to continue a lot of the things President Obama's talked about. More help for student loan recipients, an infrastructure bank, more help for U.S. manufacturing. I mean, there's a number of government solutions. I think the policy is one thing. The other takeaway from these two speeches coming so close to each other is one of style. Clinton's was very specific, and she reveled in the degree to which she could say, go read my white paper. Trump's is incredibly unspecific. Even the things he said, and there were 4 or 5 things, including the tax brackets, and he wants a deduction for child care, for people who spend money on child care. He basically said, well, I'll tell you more about it later. We don't really know what this means. We don't really have scores for what it's going to do. It hasn't really been played out. And I think regardless of the Democratic-Republican takeaways of different policy directions, you also have two candidates who have very different approaches to the idea of policy and the role policy plays in their own minds and would likely play in their White Houses.
Yeah. And I do think that it goes to the heart, too, of the Trump concept that everything's negotiable. So this is just a starting point. Why should I take specifics? What I found fascinating about both of them was the degree to which